It's rare that a disagreement ends with both sides saying they're happy, but that appears to be the case with the framework deal on Iran's nuclear program. The agreement aims to prevent Tehran making a nuclear weapon in exchange for the lifting of some sanctions on Iran's struggling economy. While the deal has largely been welcomed on the streets of Tehran, at least judging by this footage of Iran's Foreign Minister Javad Zarif arriving back home, mobbed, as you can see, by people, they seem to be giving him a hero's welcome there. Zarif has called the outcome a win-win situation. President Obama says it'll make the world a safer place. The deal, however, has still to be finalised. Here's how some other people in Tehran have been reacting to this news.
This was the best thing that could happen. We are happy.
I
was very happy when I heard this news. Many things will definitely improve. Relations between Iran and Europe and other countries will greatly improve, and the pressure on the people will ease a little.
If the sanctions are lifted, I think everything is going to be all right. The prices are going to be low, and I think that the people will be able to buy more, and I think that we will have better life.
If Iran can be more friendly with the international community, that would be much better.
Well, with me now is Rana Rahimpour from the BBC's Persian service. Rana, you must have been in touch with friends, family, colleagues back in Iran, and instant reaction to this?
Excitement. The mood is euphoric. People are very happy. Of course, in the major cities, there were street celebrations overnight. And I was just speaking with someone who was in the crowd who went to the airport to greet Foreign Minister Zarif. And I asked whether there were some hardliners, because the previous time, some hardliners usually went to these ceremonies and they tried to disrupt the greeting ceremony. This time, apparently, there were no signs of them.
But there are going to be hardliners who are angry about this deal. Has it been signed off at the top, though, do you think, by the Ayatollah?
Nothing gets agreed without the consent of the Ayatollah, because Mr. Zarif wouldn't have had the authority to make any decisions on his own. And there are signs to show that he did have the approval of the Supreme Leader today. Of course, it's the weekend and the Parliament, it's still closed because of the New Year holidays, which has started 2 weeks ago. So we haven't had reactions from most of the politicians. But today, during the Friday prayers sermons, most of the clerics supported the deal, and that is a sign that the Supreme Leader is very because they receive a weekly statement. Every week they receive a statement from the Supreme Leader's office and they know what they have to talk about. So they were all in the same line, and they said it was a victory for Iran, which is a signal that the Supreme Leader is okay with it.
Rana, let's bring in at this point the reaction from Israel, which obviously really matters, and there's been safe to say, a very hostile reaction there, saying the deal will do nothing to stop Iran building nuclear weapons.
This framework is a step in a very, very dangerous direction. It leaves Iran with an expansive nuclear infrastructure, not closing down not even one Iranian nuclear installation. It leaves Iran with thousands of centrifuges to continue enrichment. And it allows Iran to conduct research and development to build new and better centrifuges. The single goal behind the Iranian nuclear program is to build nuclear weapons. And unfortunately, this framework lends legitimacy, international legitimacy, to this effort.
So, Rana, I suppose the big issue now is it's not over. The deal isn't set. The details aren't all there. We've got till, what, June the 30th?
Yes.
And how confident are people feeling?
Well, people are very realistic, so they don't expect major changes tomorrow. They know that the next 3 months are very crucial, and it's going to be a very hard work for President Rouhani to sell the deal to his opponents in the country, just like President Obama has to sell it to his rivals in America. They know it's going to be hard, but it sounds that they're very positive. There were moments yesterday that they thought it's going to fall apart because it had happened before. So there were moments that people were deeply disappointed. So far so good. They are happy, but of course we're talking about the majority of people. There will be a minority who will be upset about this, and we do hear about their opinions as well. And I would divide them into two parts. One are the ones who will be losing because of this deal, because they have been cashing a lot of money because of the sanctions. And the other section are people who ideologically mistrust America and the West. And I think some of them have justifiable reasons to mistrust the West.
And that's a point that Secretary of State John Kerry has made as well. But just a final thought, Rana. President Obama said, this is historic. This is a milestone. I mean, it was quite a statement from him at the White House. Is that the kind of language that's being used by Iranians, that this could be a historic moment?
It certainly is, yeah. Definitely the negotiating team is picturing it as a victory. But what's interesting is that the Iranian statement, the Farsi version, is a bit different from the English version.
Always interesting.
It's very interesting. And it's they're not different in the essence, but the way they have been written is for their own audience in the country. So there are bits that the Farsi version is missing, and there are bits that the American version is missing in order to keep the opponents happy in both sides. And that is the point that the hardliners in Iran are pointing out. And that is going to be the sticking point in the next 3 months, in my opinion.
Rana, thank you very much. Obviously exciting times, but we'll have lots more to talk about. Thank you.